You see, Muhurat trading numbers are very important to see what happens in the stock exchange 2 days later. Unfortunately, in this game, the Muhurat was not very good because the bowlers were doing really well. 264 for 9 India in the 50 overs because Josh Hazlewood was in the mood tonight. He may not feature on this card, but he had the maximum impact on this Indian batting card. Good to see Rohit Sharma among the runs. Shreyas Iyer as well. A very hard-fought half-century. Akshar Patel, very important contribution of 44. We saw an entertaining cameo from Harshit Rana as well. A 37-run partnership between Harshit and Arshdeep to take India to 264. You're watching Cricbuzz live. And two very happy experts who are waiting to have some Burmese food. But
see, first of all, you have to understand who you are with.
Yes.
When you talk about Muhurat trading, Sensex, Nifty, you don't have to talk to him because he's a real estate magnate.
Oh.
उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Okay. So, do we talk about the 20...
You and me are simple mutual fund people.
Retail investor. Chota, chota. Let's talk about the strip then. What about that real estate, sir? Did it behave the way
Las
you
Vegas?
thought it would? Adelaide. Adelaide, sir.
Achha, okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. We talk about the pitch.
I think, go by the pitch report, and I think they were spot on with reading the pitch. There's no doubt about that. You've seen some.
Requires a proper Cricbuzz man to be there, people.
Yeah, Parthiv has done a good job.
Well done.
There was a little bit of moisture. You've seen that sideways movement. Josh Hazlewood exploited it really well. Not often you see that you bowl so well. And don't end up getting any wickets. But he's been very good with his line and length, troubled the batters. You've seen how difficult it was for the batters. Rohit really grinded it out in that initial part. Looked very scratchy, but the first 15 overs, that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
The important was he stayed there, stitched that partnership very well with Shreyas. The timing of those 2 wickets also didn't really help, and that's the difference of 30 runs. Yeah. So I think when you're looking at this 265 target, you can safely say India may be 30 runs short.
Yeah.
They had the platform, they had the opportunities. We'll have to wait and see, whether they're able to make up those runs. Wicket certainly will play better, so that's not going to make things easy for them. But looking at how it started, how it finished, I think they should be happy with what they got.
The one thing you worked a lot with Zach as well. Always very subtle in reaching where he wants to reach. He said those 2 wickets had India about 25-30 short. 25-30 short agar nahi hota, to add those 25 to what India have got.
And he would have won.
His score of 290. No, but I think it's a very good comeback given where India were. I'm telling you, I promise you one day Hazlewood's going to bowl crap. He's going to bowl middle of the pitch, bouncers, full tosses and get 4 wickets.
So it's like good films don't do numbers, bad films because of one good song make 100 crores, sir.
Dekho.
Aisa hota hai.
Haan.
But Rohit Sharma, let's talk about that, man. It was a strange outing for him. He had to do the hard yards, be there, hustle, a little bit of luck as well. Made Australia lose those 2 reviews, but he'll be mighty pleased. He was very upset with himself that he got out. That shot was certainly on, but you'll take these 73, right?
There's a new thing websites are starting to do. They print a scorecard and black out the name and say, guess who this player is.
Can't be him.
So if you had said 8 of 28 balls and blacked out his name, you would never have thought it was Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
He was lucky, yes, no doubt. But everyone's entitled to their luck from time to time. What he did with it matters.
Yeah.
And I think what he did with that is to grind it out, as Zach said, and get to 73. And he'll be in a much, much better state of mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great credit to him. Yeah, I said you're lucky, but it's what you do with your luck.
Given the context of the game, the pitch, as well as where he is in his life and his career, these runs will taste very sweet for him, right? And the fans as well will sort of heave a sigh of relief saying, chalo, theek hai, run aage.
Well, when you're playing the game, you're not really thinking about all these things. What matters is that you understand the situation, you absorb pressure, and you do the best you can in that situation. And I think today's innings is a classic example of that. Your natural instinct is always to be aggressive. You look to take the game on. First power play is something, which you've seen Rohit likes to put bowlers under pressure. But today, it wasn't that kind of a day.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, he wasn't trying. But looked that the pitch had enough to offer, created enough opportunities for the bowlers to really capitalize on the conditions. He saw that phase through. And looked like, as he was changing gears, you look at how he built up also his innings. And you've seen in the past as well that he's someone who's got great appetite of building innings and, working on that strike rate as he moves along.
Yeah.
So every 50, then the strike rate keeps on getting better. And that's what I'm saying. You did all the hard work. That partnership with Shreyas was much needed at that stage. Did that 30 over mark, you had wickets in hand, and 20 overs, then you can really capitalize. The shot was on, and it's just that, one of those days, you could see the Mitchell Stark's reaction also there.
Yeah.
Said, oh, I didn't deserve wicket on this delivery, but was lucky to get Rohit Sharma's wicket at the stage.
There were two aha moments, those pull shots
Yeah.
of 6. They just went over the boundary, made Rohit fans happy. But I suppose the lesson in this for us fans or cricket lovers is that no matter how big you are as a player, you have to respect the conditions, the opposition, the stage you are on, and you have to respect it. You can't play like Rohit Sharma does otherwise.
The thing with players like Rohit Sharma is, however much they are struggling, when they play the shots, you remember the shots. You remember the 2 pull shots of Mitch Oban. The moment the opportunity came, he said, let me cash in on it. There was a lovely inside out of Zampa. Yes. There was one of Matt Short. And the one that broke the shackles, I think it was a Stark, I'm not sure it was of Hazlewood, when he went over mid-off.
Yeah, I think Bartlett it was.
Or might be Bartlett.
Yeah.
So if you see, he was 13 of 39. Once the tide changes, he's still there. He scores at better than run a ball after that. So it just shows you that the big players, when they're in, when they've ridden their luck, they know how to make it count. And as Zach said, it really looked like he was going to get 100 because he was now starting to play like the Rohit that we knew.
Yeah. At the other end was his fellow Mumbaiker Shreyas Iyer, once again an innings that had only 7 boundaries, but another intelligent display of batting, understood the conditions, knew that he had to take singles, and he will take these runs. Unfortunately, got out to a ball that he wouldn't otherwise, but very important innings that as well.
Look, with Shreyas, I think, he's figured out how to score runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't really look too much into his approach, his technique. You will see something different. This series also, it's not the stance which we've been seeing. But he has a plan, and he just going with that. What he does well, that he shows that he backs whatever he's thinking of. He has a theory, he backs that, and he produces results. So that is something which matters. If you see, initially he was willing to take more risk, but with 15 deliveries in his innings, he was playing differently. Again, that timing of that dismissal, you can question. He will be disappointed that he looked that he was willing to take Zampa on. He hit him for a boundary, and then the next one, trying to create that momentum, trying to keep up with the tempo. Missed the ball which was there to hit.
He is now one of the senior members of this squad, vice captain as well, and largely I've seen fans celebrate the fact that now Shreyas Iyer is being given his due, if not as captain, as vice captain. It had to happen for someone like him, Shreyas.
And he's been incredibly consistent. Don't forget, in that run in the 2023 World Cup final, he played some great innings. He got 100 in very little time against New Zealand, I think, if you remember. So he had a great run over there. Then you go to the Champions Trophy, come here. So he's never really been out of it in this form of the game. He's always done well, and I think he's owned that number 4 now. It's not the easiest position because you've got to be able to hang in if you lose 2 early wickets. You've got to get a move on if they've got a great start. So I think he's handling it very well, and I think there should be no more discussion about Shreyas Iyer's role in the 50-over game.
Yeah.
He's not going to play Test match cricket. His ambition will now be to convert this into a position in the white ball game, where there is an enormous competition in the first 4 for the first 4 or 5 numbers. I don't know if he's a number 5, number 6, where you need a very different kind of player. But in this form, at number 4, he's now owned this.
There's another discussion that needs to stop, should have stopped long ago. KL Rahul, it's no more a promotion for him at number 5. He's been doing that for a while, and he seems to enjoy it.
Akshar 5,
sorry.
KL at 6.
Akshar Patel. He's been doing that for a while.
Yeah, I think it's questionable whether you want to continue with that, but Akshar is producing results there. So that temptation is always going to be there. He's been very consistent with whatever opportunities he's got. He looks to be very comfortable in playing that role. Whether they should continue or not, that's a debate for some other time. Okay. But I think Akshar is someone today also showed that he's growing in confidence in that position. able to time the ball well, able to prepare himself to be there regularly. And then that left-hander spot is something, which maybe the think tank is trying to take advantage of. When the spinners is bowling, leg spinner or left-arm spinner, you can have left-hander creating that momentum. And Akshar has been very consistent.
Now that you bring this up, just wondering if Akshar Patel at 5 would work on pitches in South Africa in October, November at the World Cup. Would they be thinking about that from now? Or
No, it's way too far away. But he got that position at number 5 because on some of those slowish pitches, India wanted that left armer to tackle the spin. He did very well. Look, he went in today, he's performed there too. My only concern is 6 might be way too low for a player of KL Rahul's skill.
Yes.
So I just wonder whether at number 5, KL will give you more than he will at 6. The question is, will he give you more than Akshar at number 5? I think in these conditions, he might well.
yeah.
But it's good to have that flexibility. I only hope they have the flexibility. Some days if the ball is doing too much, you've got a real bona fide batter, then maybe you can send KL Rahul up too. But I hope they have that flexibility in 5, 6, 7.
What should a batter have for him to be, have the skill to run in innings in the middle overs? Someone like a KL Rahul who's perhaps a more complete batter, more classical, more technically correct. Is that what you need?
Look, I mean, how do you weigh in those kind of positions, right? I mean, that's the question which think tank needs to ask themselves. It's like if KL Rahul is given an opportunity to face that many more number of deliveries, what kind of impact he will bring? Or in Nitish Reddy for that example, I think, Washington Sundar also going up. Then you've seen Australian captain using off spinner because Washington Sundar and Akshar were batting together. It's also going to counter produce what you are trying to achieve. So that is something which they'll have to think hard. I think, a good batter facing that many number of deliveries, allowing the batter to be able to, get the innings going.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you do these kind of tactics, the main batter will be left with less number of deliveries. So he'll have to alter his game, his approach, and that is something which you'll have to think tactically if you want to continue with this kind of a thought process.
It takes me back to the other Rahul. He went through a phase, Rahul Dravid, when he was playing the finisher's role from number 5. He actually played very well in a lot of run chases at number 5 with UV, those kind of people around him.
Yeah, around 2003-4.
3-4. Yeah. But he played very well at the same number 5 number. Remember, he started played a lot of his cricket at 3. But he's in a lot of run chases, he played very well from number 5.
Those were the days of 270, 280. Now that ODI cricket seems to work on a different dynamic, I suppose.
No, but he played really well with the aggressive players around him. But he was a fantastic finisher at number 5. I wonder if KL Rahul can play that kind of role consistently. But I must admit, I like Rahul at 5 more than at 6.
Right. Before we address the big pain point in Indian cricket these days, we have to talk about Harshit Rana. Was an entertaining innings, wasn't it? He can bat.
Yeah.
I like those shots he played. What do you make of this?
Yeah, played the cut, played the pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, and he's 9.
It's great to have pace bowlers who can bat like that, right?
Well, that's generally the thought process right now, isn't it? Everyone is thinking that the situation which they'll be batting in, how they can maximize that. And I think generally, if you see the way teams are preparing, the way support staff has grown, you have enough options now to kind of take advantage of. Talking about the sidearm throwers and stuff like that, which really gets you ready to play that kind of a role. If you have the ability, you've seen with Arshdeep as well. I think he's also figured out to contribute. Can be unorthodox in approach, but definitely Harshit, you've seen has scored some runs at first class level as well. He's been very consistent with scoring runs. This is an opportunity to showcase his talent at this level, and build that kind of confidence with the team management also to show that kind of faith.
Glad you brought up Arshdeep, because whatever your role, you must try to move up one level. So even if Arshdeep has run a ball, but he's hung around while a partnership has taken place, which is a big plus. I like it when bowlers are proud of their batting. Yep. And Harshit Rana at 9 is absolutely fine. We'll have to wait and see if he can make the move up to 8. Because if he can make the move to 8, that frees up a slot for Kuldeep at some point. So that is something I'd like to see.
We also saw a gorgeous straight drive from Nitish Kumar Reddy. It was quite a sight, and we hope he goes on to do better. Now, Virat Kohli.
Wow, I love the way you slapped your thighs. You're doing volleyball, not kabaddi, right?
That's how they spike in that sport. Virat Kohli, 2 ducks in a row. How does Indian cricket process it? Again,
No, the reason I pointed there was I thought they started with 3 slips, which was a way of telling Virat Kohli, that's what we think of you, man. 3 slips. And then he went out, in. It's almost as if they're starting to set up Virat Kohli in a certain way, which was a little sad to see.
Well, I think, it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Sometimes you go through these kind of phases. I think, so 2 games, 2 ducks, no one is going to really believe that, the player of Virat's caliber is had 2 failures in succession. But it stops there. It's something which I would not look too much into it. It is not that they are on trial, like how the chairman of selection.
Yep, it's silly too.
In the recent interview has mentioned, and that's the way it should be. These 2 players have achieved enough. It's not about how much they're going to score. It's just about how the team think tank is looking as way ahead. So Virat should also look at it that way. He will not be happy with last 2 games. It's just about brushing this aside and then starting afresh and getting things moving.
Sometimes when people point out a failure stat, it shines a light on how good you actually have been. When they say he's never had 2 ducks on the trot, we're talking of someone whose career started 14 years ago. Now, 15 years ago in this form of the game. Over 15 years, if you've never had 2 consecutive ducks, while it's telling you a story today, it's also telling you a story of how good you've been over the years. Over 15 years, you never had 2 consecutive ducks.
Yeah.
So it's actually throwing light on how good you've been over the years. But I think when this series started, the idea was 3 games Rohit Sharma, 3 games Virat Kohli. We're not going to talk about them till the 3 games are over.
Yeah.
So let's wait till the 3rd game is over and see what happens after the 3rd game, and then see how much cricket he gets before he gets his next lot of 3 games. Because he will have to, however great a player you are, you will have to play a little bit in between.
And there is a fair bit of one-day cricket coming up, leading up to that ODI World Cup. 2 ducks in a row, I'm sure there will be a lot of chatter. But for fans, even for the most passionate Kohli fans, it is a fight between the head and the heart, Harsha.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's what makes Virat Kohli the personality he is. And when you've been such a great player for so long, you're bound to be the center of all discussions, right? So today, Virat Kohli had made 60, would have been still the topic of discussion. So that comes with the territory. And I'm sure he's lived through the ups and downs. I'm sure he's okay with it. It's the fans who made him the personality that he is. He became the cricketer that he became. It's the fans who put him on the pedestal.
Yeah.
So the fans have a part to play in this. But my thinking is 3 games in this series. Look at Virat after 3 games. And then you have a right to assess what happens after 3 games. If your discerning eye says, look, I think there's an issue.
Maybe there's a special loading in Sydney on Saturday. Who knows? However, Australia have a weapon who tends to turn this into a 40-over contest. Josh Hazlewood wasn't on that graphic that you saw at the top of the show. 10 overs, 2 maidens, 29. What does one do against a bowler like that? I mean, take a look at that. Nothing full, Zach, nothing full. It's like a software-coded program.
Nothing full and nothing too short.
Yeah.
It's just that corridor.
All good and very good.
The ball nipping back, the ball holding its line, and just the control over lines and lengths. Was the story. Truly deserved not just 1, maybe a couple of wickets for sure, but created that pressure. Which was very important for Australia, taking up from the last game. Made use of the conditions to perfection.
Just does not allow the batter to have one relaxed moment, because he's drawn a fall shot percentage of 45, I think. Take a look at that. 43 dot balls. There's nothing.
Yeah, his first 18 balls, 17 were dot balls. His first 24 balls, 21 were dot balls.
Yes.
He doesn't bowl exotic deliveries. He doesn't bowl fancy wide Yorkers, slower balls, which are, I said fancy, but those are also very good balls to bowl. But he doesn't do that. So for a bowler who's fairly predictable, to be able to generate numbers like this is astonishing. And if there's a little bit of life like there was today, gee, bowled well, man. I mean, he's in the other camp, so to say. We are sitting here in India, but you just felt for him. You can't bowl that well and not get a wicket.
If there's a 10, 12-year-old boy or girl wanting to become a cricketer, watching, and I'm sure they've watched this game, what should one be learning from Josh Hazlewood? How does one become like Josh Hazlewood? I'm sure kids come up to you and say, Zach, how do I become like you? How do I become like Bumrah? What can one learn from Hazlewood?
Well, I keep telling them the same thing. That when you start bowling, you got to do the boring thing, isn't it? Rather than going for the fancy variations which Harsha was touching upon. It's just about, perfecting your length, perfecting your lines, building that control, getting things moving, and then look to bowl quick and add variations is something, which comes with time.
Yeah.
So I think, Josh Hazlewood is classic example of that.
Yeah.
Just the repetitions, he's able to keep things simple. Not overcomplicate things, and just able to repeat one thing, one length after another and after another, and producing results.
Actually today was a great example of him bowling where the batter didn't want him to bowl. Today was a great day for the batter to say, "Yaar, ek slower one maar de, ek wide yorker dal de." But he kept bowling in the area the batsman didn't like, which is, today he bowled.
If you look at the Australia bowling card, think about it. Forget Hazlewood. The other 40 overs, they conceded 233.
In fact,
which means that if you take care of Hazlewood and Stark, you can go after the others, right?
Today I thought Bartlett did okay. Bit lucky to get the wicket of Shubman Gill.
Yep.
But I thought he did okay. But even Stark is the kind of bowler who can have off days quite often.
Yeah.
He's gone for 62. Zampa's picked up wickets, but he's gone for 60.
Yep.
Yes, this side without Cummins in the middle, it's definitely a vulnerable bowling.
Even this current lineup, if you look after Hazlewood, you can score runs off the others. Do you see any other bowlers who can threaten the Indian?
No, I think the way Mitch Marsh handled his resources is something, so they've tried to answer that question of not having Pat Cummins. And how do you create the similar kind of impact?
Yeah.
And the answer was actually lying in giving Josh Hazlewood the longest spell,
7 overs,
bringing him back in the middle, bringing Mitch Marsh in the middle, Mitch Stark in the middle. So I think what Australia has done smartly is that they've said, okay, we don't have Pat Cummins in the middle overs, but we're still going to use our main bowlers to create that kind of a scenario, and that's why they were not afraid of using Zampa post 40 overs.
Yeah.
So you've seen spinners bowling post 40 overs. So you're trying to catch the game ahead of the back end.
Yep.
And if you're able to get those wickets, and that's why Rohit and Shreyas' wickets at that stage was so crucial.
Yeah.
So wickets in hand suddenly creates that one opening at the back end. But you got to have your main batters batting at that stage. If you're able to put Australia in that scenario and situation, you will put this bowling lineup under pressure. But they've not let that happen by taking wickets and by using their main bowlers differently to the normal practices.
4 of the top 7 were bowling options. Right? They can bowl if it comes to it. Now remember, India very good in ODI cricket. Tendulkar gives you a bowling option, Ganguly gives you a bowling option, Yuvraj gives you a bowling option, Sehwag gives you a bowling option. So you can play with 4 bowlers and play around with this. India win that World Cup, play 4 bowlers, Yuvraj and Raina are giving you bowling.
Yes.
So that is the advantage here. See, today Connolly is only giving you 3, but 3 overs for 11 is excellent in those conditions.
The 5th bowler gave away 70
eventually.
Yes.
Gave away 70
The shot was
eventually.
expensive.
But if you want to play 7 batters, if your 5th, 6th bowlers, whatever, are giving you 60 runs, it's still okay.
Yeah.
But he has these options. The advantage here is, tomorrow suppose Zampa gets a split webbing and has to go off. He's still got options in that side to bowl, which is something all good teams must have.
And Mitch
So
Marsh.
if you've got Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, you're not getting those additional bowling options to balance your side.
And Mitch Marsh doesn't seem to want to bowl. So.
No, he's gone, I think. I think his bowling career is over.
Right, what else is happening? Cricbuzz keeps an eye on all the other events that happen in world cricket as well. And India announced their squads for the 2 4-day games against South Africa, who will tour India to games in Bengaluru starting the 30th of November. Let's take a look at the squads. Two very different squads. You will see that they've tried to look at the India Test match as well. Rishabh Pant is going to be captain. This is the squad for the first. There's Ayush Matre as part of the squad as well. Sai Sudarshan will be vice-captain for both games. Any surprises there, Harsha, for you?
I mean, the one name that's not there that everyone's been talking about is Sarfaraz.
Sarfaraz Khan.
He played one game for Mumbai this year. He got a 32 and a 42 in a relatively low, not a very heavy scoring game. So he showed that he is back. He's got a test 100 already. He got 350s against England. Now, if you look down that side again and say, who is he competing with for that middle order slot? The interesting thing with this side is your openers are Matre and Jagadeesan, which suggests to me that the selector is saying, oops, little short of openers, because two openers are now batting in the middle. Devdutt Padikkal is batting in the middle, and if you see the team for the second game, Ruturaj Gaikwad is batting in the middle.
They've got KL Rahul in as well for the second.
Correct. Now, if those two are opening the batting, it creates an opportunity in the middle order. But otherwise, you've got four middle order slots. You're looking at Sai Sudarshan, Devdutt Padikkal, Ruturaj Gaikwad or Rajat Patidar and Rishabh Pant. Which one of those does Sarfaraz replace? Devdutt Padikkal is already in the India side, so you have to give him opportunities to play. Because the moment you want an extra batter, he's the next batter there. Patidar has scored a lot of runs. So it's a bit tricky to find that middle order slot. So it's very easy to say, why is he not in? Question is, who does he come in for? And I think if Gaikwad was an opener or Padikkal was an opener, he would have got that slot. But Padikkal's not opening for Karnataka either.
On the bowling, it's good to see that Indian cricket is putting a lot of focus on their first choice bowlers to go and play 4-day games. Siraj is in this lineup, so is Akashdeep. So they want Prasidh Krishna as well, who will play the second game. So Indian cricket, Gautam Gambhir, Shubman Gill want their bowlers to go and play these 4-day games to get ready for the bigger series.
Yeah, with three formats now and managing all the players, you know, you got to keep track of keeping everyone just finely in tune with the game, with the workload management and everything. With Test cricket, you know, you need to have that endurance as well of to be able to bowl 20 overs, come back the next day. So I think the bowlers look out mainly with that kind of thought process. And you see Siraj playing that just to make sure that he gets enough overs under his belt before the important South Africa tests.
Just look at this bowling again, because I want to pick his brains on two bowlers in there.
In the second one?
Either of those, because there's two young bowlers there. There's Khalil Ahmed. Because I think he's getting a reward. I'm glad they've gone back to Anshul Kamboj because he had a test match to forget in England. But that's a way of saying, look, I know you had a bad test match, but we are not forgetting you. He bowled 125, 128. He just had an off day. And they like these tall, fast bowlers. So they're giving Gurnur Brar games whenever they can. Whenever they can, they're giving these Gurnur Brar games. I've not seen much of him. But it's good to see that Khalil Ahmed, Gurnur Brar, all these people are in the periphery of national team selection. And if you notice, they're giving Tanush Kotian a game. I think he's seen as a backup to Washington Sundar, as the next off-spinner. Again, someone who's almost as much batsman as bowler. And very happy to see Harsh Dubey in that
Both
side.
games. He's playing both games.
Because I think they've identified Harsh Dubey and Manav Sutar as your two next left-arm spinners. But good to see Harsh Dubey there.
I have to ask Zach and Harsha about the non-selection of Mohammad Shami. He said he's fit. But if he's not playing India A, how does one interpret that?
Well, I think it's for the selectors and the NCA and the whole protocol system of BCCI to be able to share that kind of information. You know, so England series is something which everyone were aware of, that, you know, he was not
I think Ajit said he was very available. Keen. He would have been very keen to have had him if he was fit.
You're talking about Shami. You know, if he's fit, if he's ticking all the boxes, he will be there. So I think, you know, it's the communication or the transparency around that is in question at this stage, not Shami the bowler as per se. You know, he's done enough. He's got enough cricket left in him. It's just about, you know, him maybe looking for that game time or maybe through his statements showing that disappointment that I want to be there, but yet I'm not there.
It's a good sign, right? To express disappointment.
Why not?
It means he wants to be there.
Why not? Look, as long as you're not casting aspersions on people. So I actually liked this conversation. He's saying, I'm fit, I want to play. If I'm a selector, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
But I liked how Ajit handled it because Ajit Agarkar has now said, I'm not going to have this slanging match in the media.
Yeah.
He says, I think I'll give him a call.
Nice.
It's best when you're a Shami, you show respect to someone like a Mohammad Shami, but ensure it's not in that domain. He picked up 7 wickets in the Ranji Trophy match that he played.
Yeah.
6 of them were lower order wickets. It doesn't matter. But he's just getting those overs behind him because when he recovered from the ankle injury, I think his knee was swelling up, right? When he was pulling.
Yeah.
So let him get overs in. I'm convinced that if he, in the next 1 or 2 Ranji Trophy games, he starts getting those wickets, he'll be next in ahead of Prasidh Krishna and everybody else back in the Indian
And Sirat's statement to the media, perhaps out of frustration, and I'm sure Ajit Agarkar, having been a fast bowler himself, understands that bit as well. But the return of Rishabh Pant to red ball cricket is a huge, huge plus. He's going to captain the India A side in both games. Big plus.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, in the last 2 years, he can lay claim to have actually been India's best test match batsman.
Yep.
So if he is doing well as a batter, it changes everything. When he comes into bat at number 5, changes the balance of the side. So it'll be fantastic.
He's box off, isn't he, Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's just about getting that vehicle on the motorway, isn't it? You know, you have this stop and start with injuries. That doesn't really help. You know, he was just taking things to next level in England and had to undergo another injury, another surgery, and that doesn't help. I think, you know, for him, he'll be just itching to get back on the field and having this long run and then staying fit.
Hopefully, he'll keep that reverse sweep out for a while, especially against pace bowlers. Take your time, Rishabh. India needs you for the rest of the WTCs.
Listen, how much advertising has that one shot spawned? So that one shot in Australia, how much advertising has it created? So it's okay.
Yes, promos, ad campaigns, marketing ideas. Let's come back to this game at the Adelaide Oval. Australia need to chase 265 to win this series. Remember, they won the first one, which is a bit of a damn squib. That's what India did, having put in to bat first. Now, the heart of that Australia batting lineup is the top 2. Thereafter, there's not much experience. How does India approach 264?
Has it eased out, you think?
Early wickets is something, you know, which is going to help, I feel, because the conditions are going to tilt more in batters' favour, is what my instinct telling me at this stage. You know, the first hour when Indian batters batted and first hour when Australian batters are going to bat are going to be 2 different stories.
70-30 to Australia for now?
I think so, yeah.
Right, predictions, 15 overs. First 10 overs.
First 10 overs only?
Yeah.
54. Oh, 54, okay. Actually, Marsh and Head batting. 63.
I'm taking 54.
66. Apni pehchan and all, na? 66.
It might... Yeah, what happened the first... what happened?
You will see that at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
We'll have it on the graphics, sir. On the record, bata denge.
But we're not playing a game this time. No wonder I'm getting it right once in a way.
Koi nahi, sir.
I must call up Karthik.
This is on video, sir.
I know, but I must call up Murli Karthik.
Okay. We have some Burmese food waiting for us. Enjoy the start of the second innings. We'll see you at the 15 over mark on Cricbuzz Combox. Bye-bye.